Hello everyone, here is another question on trigonometric identities. Now the question reads, prove that tan alpha plus tan beta equals sine alpha plus beta over cos alpha cos beta. Now to prove the identity, okay, we can use the left hand side to prove the right hand side. Okay, and to do that we need to first establish that the left hand side, okay, the left hand side is equivalent to the what? Is equivalent to the right hand side. So, and we know that the left hand side, okay, the left hand side is what we are giving as tan alpha plus tan beta. So now, because we want to use the left hand side to prove the right hand side, now let's recall the what? The basic definition for tangent, okay? Now, recall the definition for tangent, so that we can say that tan alpha, because we know that tangent of an angle will be equals to sine of that angle, okay, over what? Cosine of that same what? Angle. So in this case we have tan alpha is equals to sine alpha over what? Cos alpha. Okay, now we're also going to do the same thing for tan beta. So we have tan beta will be equals to sine beta over what? Over cos beta. All right, so now, so we're going to substitute sine alpha over cos alpha for tan alpha in this expression, and also sine beta over cos beta for tan beta in this that's in the same expression. So we can say that this will now become sine alpha over cos alpha plus sine beta over what? Over cos beta. That is exactly what we have here. So this is the same as what we have, the new expression, okay? Tan alpha is sine alpha over cos alpha. Tan beta is sine beta over what? Cos beta. Now, in this case, we will need to simplify this expression, okay? That's the new expression. We need to simplify it. So to simplify this expression, we need to get what we call the common denominator, all right? So now to get our common denominator, now our common denominator in this case would be cos alpha cos beta, okay? That's our common denominator, okay? So use the common denominator, okay? What is the common denominator? Cos alpha cos beta, okay? Now we know that the common denominator, use it to multiply the expression. Our common denominator is cos alpha cos beta. So if I use cos alpha, okay, to multiply, let me complete the statement, all right, to multiply the expression. Okay, so this is an expression. Remember, this is the denominator, okay? So the common denominator is cos alpha cos beta. Then use the common denominator to multiply the what? The expression. So if I use cos alpha, okay, cos alpha cos beta to multiply sine alpha over cos alpha, okay, that is sine alpha over cos alpha multiplied by cos alpha cos beta, okay? Cos alpha will cancel out, okay? Then we'll be left with what? Sine alpha cos beta, okay? Now if I use the same common denominator to multiply sine beta over cos beta, now we know that common denominator is cos alpha cos beta. Now cos beta will cancel out, okay? We'll be left with what? Cos alpha sine beta. So this becomes sine beta, okay, cos alpha. So which means when we multiply the common denominator by sine alpha over cos alpha, having known that the common denominator, that is, there will be a what? They will have the same denominator of cos alpha cos beta. Then we'll be left with, so the first part on the top, okay, will be sine alpha cos beta, okay? Then when the same common denominator is used to multiply sine beta over cos beta. Then we'll be left with sine beta cos alpha. Remember, cos alpha cos beta multiplied by sine beta over cos beta. Cos beta we cancel out, so we have cos alpha sine beta. So which means we have sine beta, okay, cos alpha. Okay, so now this is our new expression, but this one this one we have as the numerator in this case. Okay, we can what? We can write it in brief. Okay, using by now in this case we have to recall one of the what? One of the trig identities. But in this case, what we have here is the what? The trig identity for what? For sine. So we can say recall the trig identity, for sine of the sum of two angles. Now the two angles in this case are alpha and beta. So if I put now the sine of the sum of alpha and beta, this will be sine alpha cos beta plus cos alpha sine beta. Okay, so that is the identity for sine of the sum of alpha and beta. All right, so let's look at what we have here. We have sine alpha cos beta, which is the first part here. Then sine beta cos alpha, so which means we can write this as sine alpha plus beta. So which means what we have here, which is sine alpha, okay, cos beta plus sine beta cos alpha all over cos alpha cos beta, okay, will now be sine alpha plus beta over cos alpha cos beta. So we can say therefore the left hand side, okay, is equivalent to the what? To the right hand side. This is the right hand side, which is exactly what we have here. So we can then say that tan alpha, okay, plus tan beta is equals to sine alpha plus beta over what? Over cos alpha cos beta. And that is what we have here as the left hand side is equivalent to the what? To the right hand side. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Bye bye.